Today I'm going to walk you through some super fun and easy DIY ornament ideas for Christmas in July using IOD products. Welcome to the Chic Show. This Christmas in July playlist is hosted by Krista's Crafty Life and Rustic and Lace DIY. Their channels and the playlist are in the description box below. This is one of the Painted Photographer's decoupage papers that was in last year's Maker's Box by Sonnet's Garden Blooms. And this mold I poured using clear resin, and it is from IOD's Cloches mold. I'm tracing around this little ornament because I'm going to decoupage this onto the back of the cloche. I added a little bit of detail using some Mod Podge and glitter just to show off some of those snowy areas. Once that has dried, I'm going to apply some Mod Podge to the back of the cloche. Not the front, but the back of the cloche. And I'll be adding that decoupage paper to that Mod Podge. I cut it a little bit shorter than I thought I did, so I did add that little strip to the bottom. And then I sealed it in with more Mod Podge. So that the colors would really pop on the front, I painted the back with white chalk paint. The details on these cloches are really beautiful, so I'm going to accent those using some gold rub and buff. And I'm just using an old paintbrush, and I'm adding it to the top little finial and also the bottom part. Once this was dry, I hot glued a ribbon to the back of the ornament, and this project was ready to be hung on the tree.
That you're missing. I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow. Whatever we do, we will be alright. These holidays.
If you haven't ever used IOD's Angels Tapers molds, you really need to consider purchasing these. I used clear resin and poured all three of these Angel Tapers ornaments that I'm going to use for ornaments, and I want you to look at the detail. They're just absolutely gorgeous. I chose one of these angels and I painted it with a coat of black chalk paint on the front and the back. Now I'm going to go in with some of this teal paint, and this is just acrylic paint, and I'm just dabbing it on in different places. The idea is to make this look like it is iron and has been sitting out in the weather. Once that's dry, I am taking some of Dixie Belle's patina paint, and this is in the iron metal, and I'm dabbing that on in places as well. Once that first coat is dry, I go back again and try to dab in those same places because the patina spray needs to be applied to the wet patina paint. Now this is the Dixie Belle patina spray in green. Once I have sprayed these areas that I have painted with the patina paint, I'm going to set this aside and let it start to rust. It's really a cool process. Now that it's dry and it has rusted, I'm going back with a little bit of that gold rub and buff, and I'm just brushing that on the details just to highlight them. This is probably my favorite project that I have ever done. I did glue a little hook to the back so that I could string through a velvet ribbon and hang it on my tree.
I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow. Whatever we do, we will be alright. These holiday.
I'm using milk paint for this project, and this is navy blues, and you are supposed to mix equal parts water and milk paint. So I'm mixing this together, and then I'm going to be painting this little tag that you see over to the right that I got on clearance last summer at Dollar General. It did have a little sand dollar on the front, and I just pried that off. I painted both the front, the sides, and the back, and then I used my heat gun to try and get some crackles and chippiness, and that only happened on the back side, so it didn't really even show. Now I'm going back to that front side, and I am going to give it a coat, 2 coats of plaster chalk paint. The first coat I let dry, and then the second coat I'm going to apply a paint inlay on top of while it is still wet. This piece is from IOD's Delft Traditions in Azure. And I'm spritzing the paint inlay with a little bit of water, and then I'm going to lay it down into that wet paint. And I will press gently with a little baby wipe or a damp paper towel and spritz it again with water and let it set aside until it's completely dry. Once it's completely dry, I'm going to spritz it again with water. I'll firmly press with that paper towel down into that paint and dab away any of the excess water and let it sit for about 30 seconds. Then I'll come back, respray it again, and we'll pull that backing paper away. I always let my paint inlay dry completely after pulling the paper away, and then I take it outside and spritz it with a clear coat spray paint.
I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow. Whatever we do, we will be alright.
Hope you've enjoyed today's Christmas in July ornaments, and I hope you'll check out the playlist in the description box below. If you're interested in another video, here's one right here I think you might like. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to share the chic. Bye now.